Hello, everybody. Welcome to Spirit Speaks. What's the day? October 25th. I'm losing track of the days, and I think I've been losing track of the days for a while. So anyway, I'm glad that you're here. I hope that you guys get your questions ready for me. And so we're going to start out like we normally do. And I'm going to tell you the things that my guides have told me for the week ahead. But first, please subscribe and hit the notification button so that you know when I go live in the future, so you can come and join me in case you forget a little notification. Okay, so when I was talking to my guides earlier today, I know last week we talked about disconnecting and kind of like shutting off social media and just disconnecting from it. So they want to actually reiterate that whole thing. So what they were saying is that, shutting off social media, but not just shutting off your computer and watching TV. If that fills you with joy, if like you're watching like comedy or something that really makes you feel a lot of joy, then good. But play with your pets, talk to your children, go for a walk, get outside, like really disconnect. And kind of find your joy and your center, because it is getting crazier by the day. You can get into fights on the internet any given time. It's just there's so much energy out there right now, and a lot of anger and a lot of disagreements. It always happens in elections. It's just this one seems so much more intense. So I think that it's even more important that we disconnect and get into our center and our roots, and remember that we can affect our general environment, and we can't do anything about the election. All of that stuff, it's kind of out of our hands. You can vote, and then you just have to wait. So just because it's so tense. So make sure that you're grounding, make sure that you're cleaning yourself, make sure that you're meditating. Meditating right now is more important than it has been in a while. And when you're meditating, even if you can only just take a few minutes to just take some deep breaths, it's going to help you and do it consistently. Okay, so that's what they were talking about this morning. So and I pulled some cards. So I pulled from the Halloween deck, the Skull of Darkness. And the Skull of Darkness, does that sound scary? But it's very Halloween-y, right? So the Skull of Darkness actually talks about your blind spots, the spots that you can't see in your life. So let's say that you are an aggressive person and you think you're not. And then your friends are like, hey, you're kind of aggressive, you're kind of mean a little bit. Those are kind of the shadows that you can't see, things like that. So just be aware of your shadow self, your darker self, your blind spots. And if you have patterns in your life where something keeps happening, you keep getting into relationships where they keep doing the exact same thing, that's going to be a pattern for you, and you need to look at that. So, and then the next card that pulled up from the Dark Goddess is Sedna. I hope I'm saying that right. Anyway, this down here says abandonment, which is, I think, very interesting to pull up next to this one. But what this one's talking about is that, are you clinging on to some emotional things that are really no good for you? The story of her is that she, her father tried to kill her, and she hung on to the canoe, even though she was in the water, and he cut off her fingers, and turns into the whole thing. Anyway, she's a sea goddess. She's kind of cool. But anyway, so the theme is holding on to something emotionally that is really bad for you. And we're talking about our blind spots, right? Then the next from my deck of my spirit cards things is simple does not mean easy. So even if it's the concept of looking at your blind spots is kind of a simple thing, it doesn't mean that it's easy. It's much like when people talk about changing the way you think. It's a very simple concept, but it doesn't mean that it's easy. So And this all flows in together. So that means that I would imagine a bunch of you really need to hear this. So really take what they're saying up with I almost totally dumped my water, with all of that. Okay, so I'm going to put these aside and grab the other cards. Okay, now I said subscribe and notify. Okay, oh, by the way, if you have a fun and creative screen name, when you ask your question, please put your name down there, because I can't really connect to a screen name, but I can connect to your name. So if I don't know it already. And let's see. So if you want a reading with me, you can go to sacramentohealingtree.com and you can order a reading there. Somebody was asking last week what they are. So you can get one question answered for $15. You can have 15 minutes with me for $25 or 30 minutes with me for $49. All of these things can be done over Zoom, and I record them so you can watch them as much as you want, except for the one card question. Okay, now let's get on with the questions. Okay, all right. So I saw one earlier. I'm hoping that my loveliest, there we go. She waits until I'm done talking about everything that the guides say me, so I don't get distracted. She's lovely. Everybody say thank you to Steph with an F. She's my best friend. Anyway, okay. So Nina says that she keeps seeing signs around a place that she misses. Could I pull cards and find out what comes up? That's the question. Okay, Nina, let's see. I'm going to pull a couple of cards for that just to see what we have with that. So connecting to Nina. So Nina, what we've got the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is talking about hidden knowledge. It's talking about intuition. So I would say that with the signs that you're seeing, I would get a little quiet and find out what you are feeling about that. But now here's the other thing. The other thing is that the Knight of Pentacles is coming up with that as well. The Knight of Pentacles is about, he's about money, but this is about a new beginning about money. So is this location someplace where you think that you would be able to make more money than you're making right now? Or anyway, so it's like a financial kind of thing. But the other thing that I want to point out is the Knight of Pentacles is somebody who thinks and doesn't move very much. So if you're thinking about this, it might be something that you're just going to think about and not really do anything about. Sorry, my dog's barking. So what this is telling me, Nina, is for you to really drop down, talk to your spirit guides, listen to your intuition, and say, is this something that I just missed? Are you missing it? Are you missing the feeling and the people and the fun that you had at this other place? Like you're trying to reach into the past, or is it feel like something is pulling you there? Do you see what I'm saying? So I would listen to yourself and you will have the answer for that. But I'm going to lean towards the fact that you're just missing something that you used to have. And with the pandemic, lots of us are wanting to move because we're trying to find normal, or we're trying to run away from something, or it's just we've got cabin fever and we want to just run. So I would look at your motivations for this place that you miss. I hope that answers your question. Jennifer Orton would like a general reading. Okay, Jennifer, you can do that. I also have my oracle cards. I'll actually pull an oracle card or a tarot card for you, Jen. Did you guys notice last week how I kept pulling the tsunami card, and then Alaska had this huge earthquake, and then they were under like the tsunami watch. I don't think they ever got one, but I found it very interesting. Okay, Jennifer Orton. All right, your tarot card is the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles can mean that you're holding on to your money, but I don't believe that this is holding on to your money. This is you are holding really tight to something you don't want to lose. I feel like there's a lot of fear around something that you're clinging to really, really tight. Let's pull another oracle card to find out what a little bit more information about that. And we have the Island of Solitude. Normally I would say, oh, you just need to like be by yourself. But actually, the feeling that I'm getting is that you feel like you're isolated. You feel like you are all alone in something that's going on in your life. And I would say, Jennifer, is that while you want to appear strong and you don't want to appear weak, you actually have quite a lot of people around you who will hold you up. I think I've mentioned it on this show before about the herd of elephants, that in a herd of elephants, if one of them is weak or sick, what happens is all of the other elephants lean towards the sick one and help hold him up, because if he falls, he won't get back up. So allow your herd to hold you up, but you have to ask for the help if you want the herd to help you. So make sure that you ask for help, even if it's a little scary. Now, if you're scared to ask certain people you think are going to be jerks to you for like opening up, then, pick the people, be wise about who you're asking help from. But, allow other people to support you the way that you support other people. Okay. And oops, sorry, I moved my cursor and messed everything all up. Okay, we're on to Susan. Susie would like a general reading. Guys, I'm really happy you all come here. I'm really grateful for all of you. This is a lot of fun for me. I hope you guys like it too. Okay, Susie. You have Justice. So Justice. This is a major arcana card, which means you should pay attention. So this, if you have anything legal happening, if you have like anything legal with the courts or judge, then know that it's going to turn out, justice will be served. It will be fair. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the way you want it. It's going to be fair. Now, this also is talking about you making judgments on things. And so gathering the information and going behind closed doors and making a judgment on something. But now remember, if you look at the scales, if you're the one that is making judgments on people or situations, make sure that you try to detach yourself and really come to the fairness of what's happening and try not to be biased, which is super hard to do. And let's pull an oracle card for you as well. And we get Dance and Celebration. So let's see what this one is. This is talking about like life is really serious for you right now, but make sure that you do have times when you find ways to bring joy into your life, because a life without any joy is a drag. So make sure that you're balanced in your emotions and the things that you're doing. Okay, and Jennifer Hayes. I love all you guys coming. I just really appreciate you guys. I'm going to scroll down and see what you guys are saying. Okay. All right. So I'm doing Jennifer Hayes. I can't do all this at once. Steph tells me not to look at the chat, but it's fun. Hi, everybody. Okay. So Jennifer Hayes. I'm actually hearing your voice in my head. It's kind of fun. I miss you. Okay, we have the reversed Ace of Pentacles, and the reversed Ace of Pentacles means that there is a new beginning coming for you in regards to something that a mental process, maybe a plan that you're making. This also can mean communication. So what this means is it's coming. It's just going to go a little bit slower than you want it to be. I feel like this is around work. So if you're making plans to do something different at work, then know that it's coming. It's just going to take a little bit of time. I feel like you have got like this idea about something, and if you speak up about it, I think that it could be implemented. So let's. Oh, and the Green Man synergy. So, can you see this? Sorry, trying to get that. So the synergy. So if you look at, the Green Man, there's so much abundance and prosperity in this card and the Green Man. So talk to the Green Man and know that your plans, their synergy, it's going to happen. Okay, and Chad would like a general reading. Sure, I'll give you that because it's fun and you came. Are you guys enjoying Mercury retrograde? I'm not. Not even. Okay, Chad, you've taken on a lot of stuff. Okay, Chad, you got the 10 of Wands. And the 10 of Wands, this poor guy, look at him. He's struggling to walk under the weight of all of his responsibilities and all of the things that he's agreed to do. So now all of these things that you've agreed to do that are kind of breaking your back are all things that you happily agreed to. And it doesn't mean that you don't want to help people or the things that you've said yes to. It just simply means that it might be becoming a little much. So the advice of this card is to look at the things that you're doing and see what things that you don't necessarily need to do. Do you really need to, help your neighbor's kid get to soccer practice? Maybe they could figure somebody else out than you, kind of thing. So look at the things that you're doing so that you can put some of these sticks down. Now, there's a lot of momentum that this guy has, and he's almost to his home, and it's kind of, he's almost to the village where he's carrying all these sticks, but it's still a lot, and it feels very, very heavy for you. And I'm sure, and I feel like you're sitting there thinking, nope, there's nothing that I can put down. So, maybe you feel like there's nothing that you can put down, but why don't you just take another look at the things that you are doing, and maybe there's something that you could eliminate that might relieve some of the stress. Maybe it's that you watch less TV and you exercise instead. Just kind of look at your life. Interesting that I'm pulling solitude for you as well. So I'm going to say the exact same thing I said for Jennifer. It's you are feeling alone when you're not alone. Yeah, Chad, what I feel like you're doing is you're kind of holding everything inside to be the big strong guy kind of thing with what's going on. See the big strong guy. And you also need to, I feel like you need to express your emotions, kind of vent things out, and not always be the strong silent type. So hopefully this is making sense to you and you understand what I'm saying. Okay. Did I just rail through all of the questions? I did. No, I didn't. Here's more. Hi, Kat. Kat would like a general reading. Sorry, so Steph with an F with like warmer weather. All right, Kat. Let's see what's going on with Kat. Okay. And Kat. Kat is pulling the reverse page of cups. So the reverse page of cups. So the pages are messages. So the message is perhaps you're going to get an emotional message that you're not really going to like. Well, it could be, no, that's not true. That's actually an assumption I just made on part. You're going to get an emotional message about a situation that involves your emotions that is ending. Now, this could be a good thing. So we've got the ending of an emotional thing, or it's a child who is very, very emotional, who is having a hard time with their emotions. So if you had like a child who's a water sign, or a child who's super, super emotional, it could be talking about them. So let me pull an oracle card, see if we can get a little bit more information on that. And here we again, the tsunami. So the tsunami, we talk about, it's a wake-up call, and it's just kind of, and it might be that this situation that is ending, well, it might feel kind of overwhelming. It's going to be for your greatest good. So just hold on. It'll be okay. And the next one, I'm trying to talk slower than I did last week. Okay, so Lisa, any messages I need to know? Giggling, sorry, inside joke there. Hi, Dan. Hi, Suzanne. Lisa, what's going on for Lisa? Let's see here. Lisa got the moon. So the moon card. So this is a very woman intuition card. It's very emotional. It can mean that the things that you're seeing in the moonlight are not the same things that you see in the day. But now I just heard something not too long ago about this card, which I loved. So if I can get this a little bit closer, hopefully you can see that. You see this little crawfish and this little path that leads up? So you have the wolf on one side, who's wild, and then you have the dog on the other side that is tame. So what I just recently heard about this card is one of the messages of this card is to walk the path through the two sides. And one side is very aggressive and the other side is very people-pleasing. So it's talking about your path that you should walk, and it's your path, and not to really stray too far for either side, but make sure that it's your path and you are the one, you're the focus. So, and the oracle card that we pulled is, what am I put over here, is the wolf. It's instinct. So you have instincts and you have intuition that you need to be relying on, and a wolf will survive with his instincts. So these are actually pretty two intense cards. So whatever is going on for you right now, just know, just keep going along. Use your instincts, use your intuition, and you'll be okay. All right. And then we have Red Vixen, who I know exactly who that is. So, all right, I'll pull a card for you. Oh, I love this card. It's the Six of Cups, right? Yes, I can count. The Six of Cups. This cup is about innocence and childhood. And so something could be coming up from your past and from your childhood. And this would be something that's actually probably pretty good for you. So I just love this card. It's just so fun. So if you look at, when you have cups, you always want to think about like, what is, I'm totally blocking my face, what is being filled with them. And if you see this, they've planted little flowers in all the cups, and then he's giving the flowers to the girl. And it's just a sweet, sweet card. So it's nostalgic. And I also think about it as us trying to get back to a time in our lives when we had some innocence, because the innocence gets taken from us far too early these days. And so if you can find something that brings back out your innocence, your childlike joy, that would be great. Let's see what the oracle card that you get. All right. You've got to be kidding me. Childhood innocence. So, really pay attention to what I'm saying here. So let's think about, like, when your childhood and your innocence. So if you look at this, they're off in the nature and they're playing, and they have a friend with them, and the sunbeams are hitting them. So it's really about going out, and maybe you need to get outside more, and the playfulness, and just go have some fun. Like, this reminds me of, when in my adult life, when I've gone to a park and I've sat on the swings and I've just swung on the swings, and I have so much fun doing that. And you can get much higher than you did when you were a kid. Okay, so Dan would like a reading. Come on, please. Let's see. All right, Dan, we'll give you a general reading. Yes, Katie, I think that I was thinking about your trip too. Okay, so Dan. All right, Dan. You have the World. So this is kind of an exciting card for you. So the World talks about having the world before you, and knowing what I know about you, this card would tell me that you're going to start to travel, not necessarily by flight, but it looks like you might be traveling, since that's the vibe that I'm kind of getting. But you have the world at your kind of feet. It also could be that you have many opportunities to find different ways to kind of connect with people all over the world, since I know that you connect with people all over the world, because his job is really cool. And you have a full moon of completion. So when the moon is full, it has completed its cycle. So if you think about the things in your life that you have gone through a process of completion. Now, that doesn't mean it's completely finished, but maybe you've gone through an emotional thing that you and you've gotten some closure on a part of it, and there's still more to go. But so if you take these two cards, with the World is it's a powerful card, and it's a major arcana card, and it's one of those ones that you should really listen to. The World card it's got this energy of like the kid when they graduate high school and there's just anything they can go do. And with everything that's happened with the pandemic, all of the rules have changed. So if you start thinking outside the box, you can probably come up with a lot of different things that you could go do and different ways that you could do them. So, and that's the World. And there's completion. So it might be that you've completed one way of doing things, and now there's a new way of another way of doing them. So think outside the box and be really creative. Okay. And crypt magic. Any messages from your spirit guides? Like, I want to talk to her. Okay. Let's see. So what the images that they're showing me is that you're kind of lifting up, and I feel like what's happened is there's something in your past that has happened recently that has elevated you. Like it's changed the game. The old, it feels like the old is falling away from you. So maybe some beliefs that you held about people or things, those are falling away. Maybe you might even be changing people, but it feels it's like, to use like a gaming term, you've leveled up. And so the things that were working for you in the last level aren't really going to work for you here. You have to get different tools and different things. And that can be really uncomfortable, and that can be scary sometimes. But what they want you to know is that you are protected, which you know. And just, so there's a lot of changes happening for you, but just keep taking little small steps with whatever is in front of you, and then just do what's in front of you that comes. It's kind of like you wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you shower, you get dressed. It's like, do the next thing that's in front of you. Instead of thinking about this big, huge, overwhelming thing that's happening, you take the little tiny steps. Okay. All right. So are there any other questions? Oh, look at this. You know, the timing of this works out so fantastic because it's, hi, Alicia. Because it works out so well that it's like at the end. I like to have it 30 minutes because then you guys can go have your night and It's not too long. And anyway, so again, I want to say thank you so much for coming and to my show. It means a lot to me, and I hope that you guys enjoy it as well. I don't get to see you, but I kind of get to see you. So, so step puts up the stop sign. Okay, so I believe that we've covered everything. Once again, please subscribe and hit notify on the bottom so that you can be notified when I go live, and maybe I'll do something. No, I'm always going to keep the schedule. Want to remind everybody, next week is the first week of the month, and that means that I will not be here. So I will be here the following Sunday. I also want to remind everybody, since I'm not going to be here next week, that the second Saturday is the day that I have all my classes. So there'll be Reiki Share, which is I've learned some new stuff, which you got to come to. It's going to be very cool. We are going, what did I say I was going to do? I think I said the law of attraction or something I was going to do after that. And then the Spirit Speaks. So watch my Facebook page for those events. I'll make sure that I get them up. I would love to see you. So you could come to my house, and if you're local, of course, but if you're like in New York, you could come, but it'd be a long trip. Anyway, you guys, I hope that you guys have a fantastic Samhain, which is what I call Halloween. Remember that the veil is very, very thin. It's 2020, so it's crazy. I have felt like it has been thinner for longer, and so if you are feeling like, hey, somebody's jumping on my bed and it feels like this animal, it's that animal. And if something is happening right now where you feel like one of your loved ones is around you, or you're thinking about them or something like that, have faith right now that they're actually there. They're coming to tell you that they love you, and they're coming to say hi and let you know that you're not alone. So I hope you all have a fantastic week. Thank you so much for coming, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye, guys.